Hello. Are you constantly pouring into people who just drain you? They drain you, but for some reason, you feel like you have to keep helping them. And so you just keep pouring into them resources, energy, time. Because if you're anything like me and you pay attention to stuff, like at some point, it's like you may found yourself asking yourself the question like, how long are you going to continue to just keep pouring into people who just emotionally drain you? It is a painful question, though, but it's an important question because it kind of helps you when you're at that crossroads of trying to figure out like what choice you should make. Yep. Because the thing is that like you try to keep everybody else emotionally comfortable and just comfortable in general. And it's like draining you though. It's just too much right now. And the thing is that, you care so much. And so it's like you're trying to be helpful and you're trying to be understanding and supportive and all that stuff. And you want to fix things and be so encouraging to other people. But it's just draining you because it's just too much. It's just become too much. And so the thing is that next thing you know, you're starting to notice maybe that like your own nervous system is becoming so exhausted in this process and what you're dealing with. Yeah. And the thing is, though, sis, is that some people are so used to you just pouring all into them that they don't even stop to see or even care to stop to see some of them they just don't they never thought about it, but some of them are they're just wanting you to keep pouring into them, that they don't even stop to see that you are emotionally running empty. They're not even able to see that because they're so used to you just pouring into them and what they're getting out of it. If that's you, let's talk about it. My name's Melinda. I'm a registered nurse, life coach, and a mentor. And on our channel, we focus on faith, healing, and emotional wellness. At any time, if this message touches you, make sure you give me a thumbs up to let me know. And if you are vibing with the channel, in our family, go ahead and subscribe. I love to have you in our YouTube family. Okay, I'm a newer channel, so I'm trying to grow and find our YouTube family. All right, so let's get back to this message though, because it gets a little deeper than the surface stuff that we talked about. Because the thing is that a lot of people that are caring, nurturing type people that always try to give others and make sure others are fulfilled, they excuse me, naturally become like helpers, the peacemakers, the listeners, the encouragers, and also the caregivers. And also you could be the one that's like the emotional stabilizer. You want to make sure everybody's good emotionally and physically. And that is like the emotional stabilizer. You really try to do that a lot in your relationships. Okay. And the thing is that compassion is beautiful. Like it's a great thing to have. But the thing is like chronic emotional overgiving. What happens is it eventually exhausts your nervous system if you're not careful. Yeah. But let's talk about what it looks like. Sometimes like emotionally aware people, are very caring and empathetic people. They can become so used to like you could be checking on everybody, you could be like helping everybody all the time, understanding everybody's problems and stuff that they're going through, supporting everybody, emotionally carrying like all the weight of all the stuff, the heaviness that they've talked to you about, also emotionally trying to fix all their problems. Or you could be constantly pouring your energy out just constant, because somebody needs this and somebody needs that and somebody needs this, somebody needs you over here, they want you to call here, they need you to be here, then somebody's sad, so they're going to call you and talk about that. So you could be doing all those things all the time, and it just kind of emotionally kind of drains you. And what happens is, it's like over time, you slowly could start noticing that now you yourself is depleted, like you're depleted your own self now. Yep. Because the thing is though, if you are that type of person and you're constantly giving to people, helping people all the time because you're so empathetic, so caring, so emotionally available, you could keep functioning like that long after your nervous system has already become overwhelmed. So your nervous system became overwhelmed long before you start to feel it, because you were so, into it, into the moments. But let's talk about, what does psychology show about like all this? Well, psychology recognizes that chronic emotional overfunctioning and one-sided emotional labor can eventually create burnout, enforced exhaustion, because emotional exhaustion, nervous system fatigue, you can start resenting people because you're giving all this stuff and you're not getting it back. You could have like hypervigilance, like always on edge and paying attention. You could turn into like people pleasing because you want to make sure you keep the peace and keep everybody, calm, cool, and collected. You also could become emotionally shut down, because you could just crash down, because it's like you are so overwhelmed for doing so much. It can just make you just feel overwhelmed and just you just can't take it anymore. You're just tired. Especially like when somebody repeatedly feels emotionally responsible. So like if you constantly feel emotionally responsible for like everybody's comfort, everybody's healing, their emotions, or emotionally stabilizing unhealthy dynamics alone, it could just be very draining for you. And the thing is that you may not even realize how emotionally drained you are until your nervous system finally reaches that exhaustion point. That's when it may hit you, because it's like you're just so drained and so tired and so run down that then it hits you. But let's talk about though, like why this can become so painful. Well, the reason why is because one of the hardest realizations emotionally could be like understanding that some people became very comfortable in the receiving from you emotionally without consistently pouring back to you. There's some people are so comfortable with receiving that they don't pour back, because they're just gonna take what you're giving, and then that can be hurtful to you because you don't feel like you're getting the same in return. Yep. And also you could become like trapped because they keep emotionally, like you could keep emotionally like hoping that, you just need to love harder. If you love harder, if you just help more, if you just stay patient enough, if you just keep showing up, that, things will eventually feel emotionally balanced. But if some people are just takers, they're not going to give you any of that. They're just going to keep taking what you're giving. Yep. And sometimes that imbalance, what happens is it just keeps repeating. And then you keep trying harder. You keep trying to help more. You keep trying to be patient enough. You keep showing up in hopes that they're going to do all those things, but it constantly is unbalanced because they're not doing that. They may not be doing that in return. So now the thing is that healthy relationships though are not perfect. Nothing's perfect in this world. There's never going to be a perfect relationship. So let's just get that on out there. Nothing's ever perfect. Healthy relationships are not perfectly equal every single moment. And so we all are going to go through seasons where we emotionally, give back to others and help others a little bit more. We go through those seasons, but there is a difference between temporary imbalance and like if you give a temporary imbalance during a difficult season versus a constant, this is all the time. Okay, there's a difference in the chronic emotional draining, where one person repeatedly becomes the emotional source while their own nervous system slowly deteriorates, is the difference. Okay, the chronic giving while your emotional nervous system is constantly deteriorating. That's how you know the difference. It's not like a temporary thing, it's the chronic, meaning all the time, chronically. Okay, it's all the time. And so that distinction matters. Okay, and so the thing is that one of the deepest healing shifts though becomes like when you notice that, like, you start telling yourself like you deserve relationships that pour back into your nervous system, not just the ones where you're pouring into them, but it pours back into you, not financially, not by gifts, but emotionally pour back into you. Okay, and so the thing is that emotionally mature healing often begins when people stop measuring love by how much they can endure emotionally too. Like, you shouldn't have to have all this pain just to have love. Okay? Some people measure love by how much pain they endure, and that's not healthy. Okay? So compassion though should not require self abandonment. We can have compassion without abandoning ourselves. Okay. And emotionally healthy love should not constantly leave your nervous system emotionally depleted and unseen and exhausted. Okay. So you definitely want to make sure you protect your peace and protect your nervous system and stop emotionally draining yourself, okay? To endlessly pour into other people while they continually take without giving, okay? It's nothing's perfect, but it should be a give and take, okay? So I hope this message helped you. If it did, give me a thumbs up to let me know. And if you were feeling the message and things like that, go ahead and subscribe. I'd love to have you in the family. As always, I'm wishing you peace, love, joy, and happiness. Okay? Have a great day. Bye.